What's up, fishy friends? Welcome to Tim's School of Fishing. Class is in session. I'm excited because today we're going to take a look at the newest release from the Ryder SPADES Black Appaloosa series. I think this might be the best series that Ryder has ever done. Ever. But pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. They dropped the ball on this one. This one is not very good. HT over at HT's EDC said it the other day. Then he backpedaled a little bit. I'm going to be critical of this one because Ryder dropped the ball on that one and it has kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. I'm really disappointed, so we're going to talk about that. But before we do that, make sure you guys tune in tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central for the Just the Tip live stream with me and Jake from Uncommon EDC. We're going to be talking about knives and stuff to do with knives. That's going to be over on his channel, so you guys make sure to tune in. So, without further ado, let's get this camera turned around and take a closer look. Alright, so this is the newest release from the Ryder SPADES Black Appaloosa series. The entire series has been awesome up to this point. This is the Ryder SPADES Black Appaloosa Easy Open. As always, it comes in this magnetic style box. On the top here it says Ryder SPADES Black Appaloosa. On the side here it says 30 Ryder. Always high quality, handmade. The 30 is because 2024 is the 30th year of Ryder knives, which was founded in 1994. So this is a 30-year anniversary series. On the side here, we've got the model number, which is RR2486. When you open your box, you're going to have the back-to-back R's and Ryder on the inside of the lid. You're going to have a nice black padded felt liner. Excellent presentation on these Ryder series knives. I really like them. So let's take a look at this knife. Alright, overall length on this is 6.5 inches. We've got a 3.5 inch handle and a 3-inch blade. We've got nickel silver bolsters on this one with a single thread. You can see there that the milling on the thread is nice and clean and precise, but there is a little schmutz in there from the machining process. I'm going to show you how I deal with that stuff. We've got black Appaloosa smooth bone covers on this one with nickel silver pins and a nickel silver shield. Transition from the bolster to the cover is nice and smooth with no gapping or stepping. We've got no proud pins and the shield is inlaid nicely. Good transition on the other side and no proud pins over there. We've got a stainless steel back spring with brass liners and black G10 underliners, which I really like. Really makes this one pop. We've got no stepping and no gapping on our back spring there. Fit and finish is very good. This knife looks good. That's not the problem. The original design had the easy open and a straight long pull, and that was it. We've got two match strike nail nick pulls, one which is kind of like a long pull and one a regular nail nick pull, and an easy open. I think that is absolute overkill. It is unnecessary. That is the entire reason for the easy open, is so that you can pinch open this knife. That nail nick right there is completely unnecessary. It kills the aesthetic of the knife, and I think that just kills it. Sure, it doesn't affect cutting, but it takes a beautiful design and just makes it not pleasing at all. So the pull on that is pretty weak. It's about a 4. Decent snap, not great. We've got a good snap to the half stop and a very, very lazy close. On our tang here, we've got the diamond tang stamp with the 30 and Rough Ryder. On the other side of our tang, we've got our blade steel, which is 440A, and the model number, which is RR2486. We've got a mirror polish blade here. We've got the 2 nail nicks, which I've already talked about, and a heavy forward swedge. I think that is just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Not only does it take away from the aesthetic of the knife itself, it takes away from the aesthetic of the swedge to have that nail nick right underneath it. Let me know in the comments what you think about double nail nicks. I have not heard one person say they like them. I've heard people say it doesn't bother them and they don't mind them. But let me know in the comments, do you want to see more double nail nicks on knives? Do you like them so much that you wish they put 2 nail nicks on every knife, on every slip joint? Let me know, because I'm interested to know, because those folks over at Smoky Mountain Knife Works insist that they do that at the request of customers. Well, I don't know who those customers are. If that's what you like, and you want double nail nicks on more knives, okay, let me know. I'm not gonna bash you for it. That's your preference. If that's what you like, that's what you like. But I'm being 100% honest when I say, where are these people? The only thing I've heard is people don't mind them. People are willing to overlook them. But I want to hear from the people that love them and want to see 2 nail nicks on every knife, right? Well, I just love nail nicks. I would like 2 nail nicks on both sides everywhere, plus an easy open. Tell me. I want to know, because they insist over there that people have requested it. I don't think so. I think it's hideous. I think it's ugly. I think it ruins the aesthetic of the knife. I knew that when I bought this knife, that it was there, and I was willing to overlook it because I had the whole series and I want to complete the series. But there are so many other problems with this knife in addition to that just really ruin it for me. So let's take a look at the edge here. On our edge grind, you can see right here that it gets really heavy. Then as we go down toward the belly of the blade, it's almost non-existent. And then as we get up here toward the tip, it's heavy again. So as we go through the belly of the blade, you can see there that there's almost no edge whatsoever. And it's exactly the same on the other side. Really heavy down here toward the tang. Then as we get up here toward the belly, it's almost not there at all. And then up there at the tip, very heavy again. So poor edge grind on this. That is not good. That's one thing that I don't like about this knife. The main problem with this knife is the action. You can see there that on my knife, I have a decent jump to the half stop. HT did not. Here's the problem. Almost nothing. Almost no snap. Look at that. That knife should not be open. That should be snapped shut. You almost have to put it to the closed position. Now look, some of you might say, no big deal, whatever. That is a big deal. That is poor action for a slip joint knife. And the other thing is the pull is very gritty. You can feel it. You can even hear it. I don't know if you can hear it on here. Can you hear that almost scraping sound? Right? And you can feel that scraping sound. It's got a lot of resistance and a lot of drag. That is poor. And as I'm pushing it down, I can just feel the grit and the resistance. And the snap to the open position is just not very good. The only part of the action that's good is that right there. So the walk is very gritty. The action is very lazy, and the torque is just non-existent. A lot of us slip joint guys, We're really like our walk and talk. Now, if this was not a series knife, and this was a one-off knife, and my intent was to carry it every day as a user, it wouldn't bother me at all. But this is a collector piece, right? It's part of a series. I've got countless other knives that are my users. So, in a collector piece like this, which is what I would argue most people purchase these series for, I want good fit and finish and good action. I have a decent fit and finish. The action is poor, right? The edge grind is poor. This action is literally some of the worst that I have ever had on a slip joint ever. I have actually already put some KPL in there. Let me show you what I do with knives like this to hopefully try to improve the action. Right there, you see the little dark spot in there. All right, that's just leftover crud from the machining process. So I use break-free mil-spec CLP. So I'm going to put a few drops, and I have a toothbrush. So you can see there that I got most of it already. So that's what I do to clean out a dirty thread. I understand that there's going to be leftovers from the machining process sometimes. I get it, right? That's not why I'm taking points away from this knife. I'm taking points away because the action is just terrible. The edge grind is terrible. You might say, why do you care about the edge grind? You already said this is a collector piece and not a user for you. Well, it goes to the aesthetic. I know it's hard to see on camera, but when you look at this, it just looks poor. The edge on there looks poor. It looks like a child did it. Let me show you how I try to improve the action. I'm basically just going to flood this pivot, the joint in here. I just put an absolute ton of CLP in there. You can see it's already dripping out the back. I'm going to take my toothbrush and try to get in there as much as possible and do the same thing back here. Just give it a nice little scrub to try to get some stuff off the tang there. Then I'm going to take some compressed air. And I've already done this, so there's not a lot, but typically what you can see is just black gunk coming out of there. And I'm just going to work it. Still no better. Still no better. Right? Still not getting any good action right there on the close. It's really not going to improve the action on this knife because as you see, no black stuff came flying out the joint there because I've already done this, right? I'm just showing you on camera what I do for a knife like this that has poor action. They did a poor job on the tang there. It's not smooth, right? And you can see there some machining lines. It's not smooth, it's not polished, and that's where the gritty action is coming from. And the reason we're not getting a good close here is because the tang is too rounded off on this one side. Instead of being rounded a little bit but kind of sharp, what it does is it comes like this, then down. So we've got 1, 2, 3 sides to it instead of a sharp curve, which is going to interact with that spring and give us a good snap. We just don't have that. So we have it on one side of the tang. You can see there, that side of the tang was done better. Now we're on the other side of the tang. Not good at all. I was willing to forgive the double nail nick. What I'm not willing to overlook is all the other stuff. So cumulatively, the 2 nail nicks, the poor edge grind, the piss poor action that cannot be fixed, right? Cumulatively, that makes this knife a fail. Maybe you just got a one-off, Timmy. Maybe you just got a bad one. That happens. Sure, it does happen. There are bad ones, you know, sometimes you get a dud. But I've seen other reviews on this, and the other ones have the exact same problem. So it's not a one-off problem, it's a batch problem. It's the production of this particular knife is just not good. And so cumulatively, I'm taking points off for that. And it hurts this series as being their best ever. Now, most of the time with every series, there's at least one dud. And I'm hoping that this is the only one that's going to be poor, because I do intend to get the rest of this series. There's a couple more to go. I hope those are not bad, because all the other ones have been great up until this one. So there you go, boys and girls. That is the Rough Ryder Spades Black Appaloosa Easy Open. If I'm being quite honest, I cannot recommend this knife. If you're willing to overlook the double nail nicks and the poor action and the poor edge grind and understand that it's never going to have good action, then by all means go out and get it. If you like double nail nicks and that kind of stuff doesn't bother you, go get it. It's good, right? The covers are beautiful, but it's not great. And the other ones in this series have been great. And look, I understand that it's a $15 knife, $20 with shipping or whatever it is. I get it. Okay, I get it. But the thing is, I've had other $15 knives in this series that were impeccable. This one's not. That's where I'm coming from. It just is not up to the same standard as the rest of this series. So there you go, boys and girls. Just wanted to share that with you today. As always, I appreciate you for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment down in the comment section. Let me know if you like double nail nicks. Let me know if I'm way off on this knife. Am I being too critical? Maybe I am. Sometimes I wake up on the wrong side of the bed and I'm just grouchy. Am I being grouchy today, or do I have a legitimate gripe about this knife? If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Just click my logo right over there. That's it for this episode of Tim's School of Fish, boys and girls. Class dismissed.